Evening all, how we doing? Happy Monday. How's it going? We've all had a good week? Go away, I don't need that anymore. How's things? Good week. To say good week, I meant good weekend. You know what I mean. It's been a busy day. Productive day, but a busy one. Those two things tend to go hand in hand, really, don't they? Upon reflection. Yeah. Busy weekend, to be fair, actually, in some ways. Yeah. All good, though. Ready to throw some lightning and fire and stuff around in Tainted Grail. Should be good fun. So yeah, Saturday morning, I was like, I really lagged behind last week on getting this build done, so I'm going to have it up on Monday, which I'd like to do. Maybe Tuesday. I'll have to do a bit on Saturday. I sat down and was like, right, let's knuckle under and get this done. And I wasn't 100% vibing it, but it started going and things just kind of went well. And I kind of fell into a rhythm with it and ended up spending most of Saturday working on that, which was ended up being pretty good. I haven't had to do anything really since then. So pretty pleased with that. And then, yeah, just had Saturday night and Sunday to chill for the most part. Yesterday was a bit weird. I couldn't figure out what on earth I wanted to do with my time. You know, I was sat there looking at my games library thinking, I don't really want to play any of this. It's just not a great vibe, really. Tried a few different things. I tried Skull and Bones over the weekend again. I tried it when it first came out about a year ago. About that? Yeah. And then, obviously, I had the free weekend and massive discount this weekend. And in fact, I think it's still discounted. But to be honest, it's just a bit boring. It's not very interesting. So yeah, I played that for a few hours, didn't run out. The trial was a 6-hour trial. I didn't get to the end of it. Didn't run out of time on it. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of done with this. So I reinstalled Starfield. We'll see whether or not I get stuck back into that and push on with that for a bit. Just see how the mood takes me, really. Kind of bits of it appeal to me and bits of it I'm not entirely sure are appealing. We'll see. And then, yeah, after that, I also installed Dead Space, the remake. I've been wanting to play that for a while, as I've not been able to play the actual Dead Space game in ages, because it's PS3, and my PS3 is dead. And I had the PC version of it, but it just doesn't work. Just plain and simple does not, well, no, it's not that it doesn't work, it's just unplayably bad on PC. The port is bloody awful. I seem to remember now that I think about it, neither the mouse and keyboard controls nor the controller controls worked properly either. So if that's the case, that would actually be unplayable, wouldn't it? So yeah, that was terrible. But the remake is on Game Pass, so I thought, screw it, I'll give that a go. And I tried this a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago maybe, and installed it all. It just wouldn't boot because EA's fucking launcher is such utter garbage. One of the worst I've ever seen, and half the time games just do not work if they're coming through that launcher. Just flat will not launch. So this time I gave it a shot, and it was like one of the pieces of advice is reinstall the whole damn thing. I was like, no, it should just work. And it didn't the first time, but I thought I'd have another crack at it, install it again, and it did work this time. It crashed once, but after that it was fine, so yeah. So I played that for about an hour last night, and that was fun. I haven't had any time to play any more since, because I've been busy. But there we go. Evening, Grandma. How are you doing? Cheers. Glad you enjoyed the video. I quite enjoyed making it. Well, I enjoyed making the build. Admittedly, the edit was kind of a drag, really. But it is what it is. Sometimes they're more fun than others. That one was, you know. That's not the right game. What are you doing, dumbass? I'm losing my mobile. I've moved stuff around as well on my desktop a little bit. And apparently I'm losing the plot. Not sure there ever was a plot, really, but, you know. If there ever was, I've lost it. Evil Dynasty with the new DLC. Yeah. Another franchise that doesn't look very interesting that's on sale. Alright, let's clean my eyes up and hopefully we'll see. Oh shit, see something. Just this left lens ends up being, oh, well, both actually a bit iffy. The left one seems to be worse lately. Weird. Right. Oh, guys, we'll see how this does, but there was a patch for this the other day, or earlier in the week, last week, middle of last week, which I have downloaded, so should be okay, but we'll see how this goes. Certainly been a problem every other time, so I'm a bit of a go slow with it today, I can't see that much. So I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Okay. Every fucking time. Guys, your updates are shit. I mean, they're fine once you've fixed the friggin' files, but every single download breaks the game and has to be refixed. It shouldn't do. Very annoying. I realise this is a developer really pushing outside of their previous wheelhouse, but still. Fortunately, the fixes download, or the replacement files are downloading reasonably quickly, so shouldn't take us too long to get going. There's a random screw on my desk. I don't know where it came from. I think I did know when I first appeared, but I can't remember now. Looking around for a bit. Oh, maybe I do know. Do I? No, actually, no, I don't. Oh, well. Fidgeting with it. Let's chuck it in my drawer. Nearly there. 10% to go. Let's get out there and can't quite remember what we've got to do. I do know we've got to head into the All-Mother's Temple at some point, but I'm not quite sure if we're over the line where we're allowed to do that yet. Right, take two. When verifying the integrity of the file starts in the 30-odd%, it makes you wonder what on earth is going on, really, doesn't it? Sure, I keep those notes. That's my notes from the altars the other day. And I need those. This looks a bit more. Yay! Now I've just got shaders to reload, which I don't object to the doing of. I do kind of wish I'd stayed done though. Oh well. Success. Right, let's get going at long last. Jeez. What can you do, eh? Slow load at the moment.
Idle hands make dull warriors.
Okay, yeah, we're here, aren't we? So other than the fact I need to level up. So I don't think. There's much else to do other than to persuade this lady to let me in there. Let's go and
If nothing happens
stop.
at nightfall, I'm starting a brawl.
We'll see if I can rest up and nice. We'll push on, I guess. Assume she'll let me in there now. Down here. Keys increases mana regen. I mean, that's not a bad thing. What else have we got? More crits, increased damage, mental damage buff, damage spillover, extra mana regen, health buff, speed buff. Not exciting really there. So I think I will stick with plan A and go with this one. Cool. If I were to rest, yeah, I thought it was early in the morning. Now let's just check if she's going to let me into.
If nothing happens soon, you must really like it here, huh?
It's not bad.
It's strange. I've spent most of my life barely seeing anybody who was an evoker, let alone anybody outside Del Rida. And I definitely haven't met many people willing to come up and chatter endlessly at me.
Sounds like a lonely life. You could say I'm a bit of an odd duck. Sounds like a lonely life.
Or maybe yours is too crowded.
Tell me about the Volca.
Aye. My tribe is lost. They've been stumbling around in the dark for years. I tried to push them, to remind them of our pride, to make something out of them again. But when even my own sister turned her back on me, I gave up. One Eye's campaign felt like a gift for mother. First one since I was born.
You have a sister?
Aye, an older one. I thought she'd help me bring the Volker back to what we used to be. But she turned out just like the rest of them. She only cared about her books, no the tribe. We fought about it so much. Until I finally told her to leave. And she just did. Never even looked back.
It might have been on you, that then. Complicated relationship with the goddess.
My tribe believes Mother has abandoned us. That we deserve it. Maybe they're right. But I don't think the answer is just to give up and wait for death. We need to prove that we're worthy of being her wains again. And I believe the best way to do that is by breaking Kamelot's grip on Avalon.
Why have you decided to follow One Eye?
Because he has a goal that's worth fighting for, and he plans to achieve it. After living in a tribe with no direction, no ambition. It's refreshing. I'm not here to seek an honourable death. I want a better life, one with real meaning. Otherwise, I'll be no better than the rest of my kin. Stay out of trouble.
Yes. So, I don't know if she's given me permission to go in here yet. I guess we're about to find out. I can't remember after a week off, or nearly a week off. That was nearly a bad thing to do. Well, there's no guards here anymore, so it's promising. Or were they a bit further up? They might have been a bit further up. Yeah, there they are. Well, I guess we'll find out if she's given the word to let me in. They don't seem to want to talk, and they're not trying to stop me coming in. The ruins of the All Mother's Temple. They were supposed to be attacking me on sight if I didn't have permission, so... guess we got permission. Can't help myself to anything. Go, because I don't see anything that I want. This temple has definitely seen better days. Oh yes, I got the key for that, and that's presumably where I need to go then. Let's have a look up here while I've got the chance, because that's pretty epic. That's in the middle as I'm going to get. Damn you. I go walking into my picture. Kill him for the offence. Challenge him to a duel. How dare he walk in front of my camera. How's it going, Noel? You alright? Hope you've had a good weekend. Yes, let's head in and see what's down here. Here it is.
Plan. Kamelot will soon figure out something's not right.
Don't fret. To the Dolriada, honor matters more than life itself.
Evening, Cal. You alright?
Word.
But do you realise that taking this temple was a terrible idea, right? It's just gonna speed up Kamelot's intervention.
Taking the temple was inevitable.
Why? What do you mean? Are you trying to provoke Kamelot into invading? Or are you just not like the Old Mother?
We believe in the same goddess, but we call her Mirror.
Well, that doesn't answer my question. What do you want? You don't look like you're from the tribes. How did you even get here?
Whoever he is, I cannot say he lacks courage. We don't usually take visitors, so he must have found a way to get here.
Weird weekend, I know. I had a fairly busy one, but it's been alright. Look at the Captain of the Horns of the South. I have this pin.
Well, that seems to be a matter for the Horns of the South. I do not need to be involved. I trust you to know what should be shared, and what's best kept to yourself.
I don't know what kind of madness brought you here, flashing that pin, but my friend's right. You've got courage. So, tell me, who are you, and what do you need from me?
Answers to a number of questions. I need also bump my volume up a little bit, I think. There we go. Hopefully that should be a bit better. You conspiring with One Eye? I assume that is One Eye.
Conspiring? Don't be absurd. That's such a poor word for something so beneficial. I don't see, however, why I need to explain myself to a stranger. And not a very sharp one at that. If you're wondering why the commander of the largest garrison in the south would want to make a deal with the most powerful military force since the Age of Legends.
I want to wield Excalibur. Well, actually, I don't really, but I do want to nab him. Yeah, he's an interesting fellow, this captain.
Ha! Good luck with that. Only King Arthur can wield Excalibur. Every fool on Avalon knows that.
We'll see. Kamelot claims you know how to do it.
Ah, Caradoc. Well, that changes things. I had a feeling that pin you're waving around was his. Fine, yes. Every new captain gets a set of secrets passed down from his predecessor. And yes, one of those secrets is how to touch Excalibur and survive. But nothing in life is free. You know that. Do something for me, and I might consider sharing our greatest secret with you.
It's going to be easy. What do you need?
Galahad the Pure is breathing down my neck.
Yes.
And I hate it when someone's breathing down my
Sounds
neck.
to be something of a maniac,
Even
that guy.
worse, One Eye's men say he's already set up camp at our old stronghold in the west.
What's Galahad want?
Well, in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with the Round Table, but that's just theory. In reality, they treat us like we're beneath them. They demand we supply them with food and protect the South, and all we get in return are threats that Galahad will be sent to put us in our place. I met him once, you know. He's no knight. He's a butcher. Bloody windfucker will fly from Kamelot to the Horns just to hang half the garrison for whatever he himself will perceive as disobedience or treason. And I can assure you, there won't be any investigating when he arrives.
Doesn't sound great. Tell me more about him.
Oh, he's got a lot on his conscience. He leaves a trail of fire and ruins everywhere he goes. He keeps preaching that fire purifies all. Galahad doesn't bother with politics, because he doesn't have to. But from what I've heard, even Kamelot's getting tired of him. Sometimes you've got to talk to people. No need to chase after them with a torch. You'll see soon enough how fanatical he is. Galahad's the last thing the Horns of the South need right now.
I gotta agree with him on that. Is he really that bad?
Don't tell me you're that naive. Do you know how he earned the title The Pure?
I'm gonna guess he set things on fire.
Thick skull that evil is everywhere, and the best way to deal with it is to burn it all away. So he goes round setting everything on fire. Sure, it's pure.
Yep,
after
thought as
that,
much.
because there's nothing left. Well, except for the charred corpses. But nobody in Kamelot seems to care about those. My arse is purer than this guy, even after I take a huge dump.
Lovely. But to summarise it quite effectively, so what do you need then?
Galahad needs to die, obviously. That'll solve most of our problems. We'll just say he had an unfortunate accident, you know, fell on a pitchfork or something, and sweep it under the rug. By then, we can continue our talks with the tribes, and by the time anyone from Kamelot
You want me to
decides
assassinate a
act,
Knight of the Round Table?
it'll be too late.
You want me to kill a Knight of the Round
What's
Table?
wrong with that? It's him or us. If we let him snoop around here any longer, he's going to uncover our plan to protect the South. And if that happens, trust me, you'll be going down with me.
Well, yeah. He'll start pointing fingers, no doubt. When you allied with the Knights of the Round
Well,
Table?
in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with. In reality, they've been trying to suppress us. And the fact they're funding most of our operations, like building the new lighthouse, for instance, doesn't exactly help things.
Does he really have to die?
I don't see any way out of this that doesn't end in open war between Kamelot and the tribes. Not to mention, half of my men will probably end up burned at the stake for treason or some other drummed-up charges. And I can't openly risk a coup. That would only make matters even more complicated. So, as you can see, you're the only one who can do this. The choice is yours.
A random person who just happens to decide to assassinate him. Great, this couldn't possibly go wrong. If I get rid of him, you'll tell me about Excalibur?
Yes, it's that simple.
I mean, I could kill him. Well, Galahad does sound like a problem. And I don't particularly trust this guy. Seems like Kamelot in general is also a problem. If I kill him, I'm going to have to butcher my way out of here, aren't I? Well, it does seem to be the case that Galahad's the departure from this mortal coil of Galahad will probably benefit everybody in the grand scheme.
Just flash that pin to his guards. They'll let you in without a problem. And now, excuse me, I
You're going to
have
fucking let me out, aren't they?
things to do before the matter is settled.
No, I'm good, Carl. Oh, God knows how this is going to play out, but be right. Or it won't. One or the other. Yeah, I think there's another Almighty shrine. Hey, if I can help myself, why not? Um... I was expecting a bit more from this place. But apparently not. Oh dear me. So it seems Galahad has arrived then. I was just wondering where he'd actually got to, but yeah, it sounds like he's made his way in. So trying to survive a heat wave. No heat wave round here. It's warm, but I won't call it a heat wave. It's not gotten above 20, I don't think, today. So, yeah, it seems Galahad's hanging out at the old abandoned stronghold there. I guess we'll see how this goes. So far, everybody who has mentioned Galahad has suggested that the guy's nuts. Oh well, look, he does seem to be burning a lot of people at the stake as well. Or impaling a lot of people and burning them or something. So I'm not really seeing many reasons to argue with the captain's position on the subject of killing Galahad, really. I am a little concerned at the prospect of trying to get out of there alive, though.
Stop right there! Who are you? And what do you want here?
I saw some ruins I wanted to explore. Who are you? Let's try that one.
Very funny. You're lucky I have to answer. We're the personal guard of Sir Galahad the Pure, a knight of the Round Table. But you won't be meeting him until you tell us why you're here. You could also leave in peace. That's what I'd recommend.
Oh, that's easy. You came to kill him. See his pen, don't have to tell you anything. Take me to Galahad. Change your mind. Don't want to see him after all. See his pen, don't have to tell you anything. Take me to him.
It's true that this pin obliges me to take you to the knight. But did you actually earn it? Or did you just pluck it from a corpse? Well, that's for Galahad to decide. Go. But bear in mind that Galahad is not a patient man. I only hope your cause is worth his time. Otherwise, we'll be carrying you out in a sack. The door is open. You'll find Galahad inside. Try not to make him angry.
Nice armor, though. So I could betray the captain, I'm sure, but frankly, I'm kind of not too inclined to do that. Yeah, mighty pure. I wonder if I craft the poison and deal with him that way, but guess we'll see how this goes, won't we? I don't know what I was expecting, but that wasn't it. Yeah, he's a fucking nutter. Had a nice bit of rain and thunder last night. And a very large mace from the look of it.
I can hear you. Who goes there?
Told this pyramid language to ask for help from any Kamelot representative.
It's shiny, sure, but you clearly have no idea what you're doing. Waving a round table pin in front of a knight of the round table? Not the smartest move. Normally, I'd throw you out for your arrogance and stupidity. But you're lucky. I've got a soft spot for boldness. And that pin has me curious. Where'd you get it?
Caradoc, I found it. I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm still going to murder him anyway. Probably.
You mean you found Caradoc's tomb and robbed it?
No, I had it to me personally.
Interesting. And when exactly did this happen? Where did you last see him?
Near Temple of Stagfather, not far from here. There's some ruins close by. He helped me escape the Island Asylum. I'm not going to say that because, yeah, I don't think that's the time. I don't think it's going right. Near some ruins close by.
I see. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So what do you want then?
Your head. He's funeralized this, but asking some questions. Came here to kill you. Captain Hollow. I'm not going to do that one because I don't feel like informing me as to why he's going to die, or at least not in that way. Aligned himself with one eye. I don't know that aligning himself with the Dariata is a good thing either, but at the very least, this guy needs to fall. Whose funeral is this?
The one on the left was questioning my orders. For some reason, he thought his opinions were more important than obedience in the middle of a war. They aren't. The one on the right decided Kamelot wasn't paying enough, so he thought that was a good enough excuse to help himself to his comrades' pockets. It wasn't.
Yes. Got some questions. Night in the south is a rare sight. Why are you here?
We're going to fight the Dalrita. We're driving that rabble out of the All-Mother's temple. And when we head home, we'll put their heads on pikes at the gates of the Forlorn Swords. That way the rest of those barbarians will know Kamelot is still watching over them, even if we have to protect them from themselves.
What do you mean?
Oh, so you don't know? One-Eye's a traitor. He's fooled the younger tribesmen with grand promises of uniting the tribes and marching north. The Council of Elders is still loyal to us. They want no part in a war. He's just a bandit, abandoned by his own people. When his village fell, no one came to help. And One-Eye, like the rat he is, ran. I'm just here to finish what I started. And when the Elders see us take down One-Eye,
He slaughtered his village.
those savages for another 600 years.
I thought the war hadn't started yet. Would you hate Dariata so much and they fight for Kamelot? I thought the war hadn't started yet.
War's already here. It's been going on for a while. We're fighting each other in the west, and people are whispering about rebellion in the north. The last thing we need is united tribes.
Why do you hate the Darth so much?
At the beginning, yes. But they're primitive. They don't respect order. They never will. Arthur gave them the forlorn swords, a rich land where they could govern themselves. They were supposed to watch the giants deliver iron and chase after their cousins through the tunnels, or whatever it is that tickles their fancy. But no, that wasn't enough for them. I've always thought Avalon would be better without them. Arthur probably gathered them all in one place, hoping they'd kill each other. But that didn't work, so we'll have to do this the hard way.
Heading to the haunts of the south. What for?
That was the plan. It's my job to keep those lazy fish eaters in check. Kamelotian gold flows to them, and I need to make sure they're doing something with it. But the Dalrita showing up. That made things more interesting. Their presence will bring down the south, and I don't let things fall apart on my watch.
Isn't the Wyrdness a bigger threat?
That's exactly why we need Kamelot and the Horns of the South to be strong and united. You do know that the lighthouse of the Horns of the South works like a giant menhir, right? It's why we've ordered them to build another one to strengthen its power. As for how the Dalrita feel about the Wyrdness, I don't care. I'm here to protect our people, and those tribes are in the way. I know what people say about me. They think I'm a madman who burns everything, a butcher who hangs the innocent. I've heard it all.
Seems you are.
But I believe that only decisive action gets results. There's no room for mercy when it comes to insubordination, deserters, or heretics. It's the only way to prevent the fall of Avalon.
That's it, he said the thing. Well, I have kind of strange feelings. His point that about One Eye might be true, that he's just a vengeful individual who's little more than a bandit, but he could also be somebody who's trying to bring freedom to his people, and his people are too scared to take up a banner or what have you. There's a lot of spins on that. I feel like Galahad's position here is at least as much spin, if not even more, than anybody else's, and he does butcher people left, right and centre, as we can see by the fact there are people burning outside his gate, and he's just sitting here chilling out, feet up, watching the burning corpses of a couple of his people. So whatever way we finally go, and we sided a little bit to a degree with the Children of Morrigan with a view to improving things from the shadows and stuff. Removing this guy, I mean, he could be replaced with somebody worse, but not likely in the grand scheme, so I'm not particularly bothered with the idea of removing his head.
Marvelous.
I came here to kill you. Oh, you're a wizard, are you? You won't be for long. Standing there in metal armor, and I've got lightning spells, so. Down you go, you mad bastard. Unfortunately, I think his mates are probably not very happy with me. Lad's mace, royal butcher's gauntlets, royal butcher armor, and a whole lot of other stuff. Ooh. That's annoying. Also, we're in the cellar way down there. How the fuck did they... I mean, I know it's only a wooden door, but I wouldn't think they'd know at this point. Well, that'll be back soon enough. Kind of curious about Galahad's gear. The Ranski, okay. There's Galahad's mace. A two-handed mace inflicts burn on hit. And he was doing some kind of weird thing with the swinging of it to cast spells. Usually very mean boss. Yeah, 2 hits was doing the damage, but I don't have much armor or stamina really, or health, because I'm just not that kind of build. But keeping him a distance and just zapping him with lightning sure does the job. So what does I do? Just armor. Helmet's quite cool. So it's just a whole bunch of armor. Okay. We're just a little buddy following me. It's very cute. Yep, just sat there watching the corpses. Somehow, I don't think the world's going to miss Galahad the Pure. Yeah, it is very, very cute.
We may be in for a fight. Your armor won't save you.
Just as well, because I haven't got any. Oof. Valuables there. They weren't too bad. Dodging their arrows was getting to be a bit of a problem. So does Gladius. I had Knight Tabard. It's actually quite nice. $10. It's actually just as good as Galahad's. It's not worth as much. But it weighs less. It's worth the same amount. Weighs less, and it's easier to use, and it looks better. Galahad's armor is not actually that bad looking, to be honest. It's huge, but it doesn't give me any extra protection. Maybe it is slightly better looking. Off the blood. My robes are pretty freaking terrible, but now where's the other one I gave a zappy zap to? I think it was over here somewhere, wasn't he? Yeah, I'm a little cucumbered now. Yeah, a little bit. How much are these worth? 270 no 3.4, 300 no 1 point. Jesus, valuable stuff there. The armor. 100 and weighs 4. 100 and weighs 6. So that's probably what I should be getting rid of. 40 and weighs 3.6. Let's get rid of those. $50 and weighs 4. All this stuff doesn't even give me any extra benefits, but some of the knight stuff actually does. It's weird. Galahad's gear is not that good, or some of it isn't, anyway. Considering it's unique, it really should have, like, unique stats on it. It's cool, but, I mean, the chest's worth having, and the helmet, not really, because stamina costs better there. Like, why would you? It's just not a good set, apparently. A bit disappointed by that. Anyway, I need to drop something that's not worth much and weighs a bit. Weighs nothing. I'll sell that because it weighs nothing. 16 worth 5. 15 4. Some shit around here I can get rid of. Yeah, that's on the right side of the line. Cool. Not gonna miss anything I dropped there either. Well, I feel like I may be about to get into an argument outside. We'll see. Yeah. Turned out to be not too terrible, really. Galahad there. Mind you, I am quite a high level for the area, I think. Yeah, sweet.
Tis just a flesh wound. Such a cheap shot. You're full. I will be your downfall. I'll strike you down.
No, I'm out of mana. That doesn't happen very often. I feel like we might as well clear this place out and then
I will be your downfall. You'll fall to my sword.
stock up on their gear and sell it, suddenly. That guy's soon going to be dead.
I've had worse. Your armor won't save you. Show me what you are made of. You'll fall to my sword. Your armor won't save you. Fear in your You are nothing but a peasant. I will be your downfall. I see fear in your eyes.
Got him that time.
Won't save
Right, thinning the herd. assume there's more of them up here would like to try and bump me off, but an aurochs. Consumable gives me +3 max stamina permanently. Not very exciting, but especially not with my build, but I'll take it. I've not looted this guy. Yeah, I have. Or would have done, because Bald Kate, not Bald Kate, Sailor Cilia or something like that was up here. Seem all the bad guys are pretty much dead. Oh. Galahad and his entire personal guard wiped out by one angry mage. Not exactly advertising in favour of magic's return to Kamelot, am I right now? And I've hideously over-encumbered either way. I might as well put these guys with all their stuff and take it away, hadn't I? Won't be able to fast travel, but I will be able to ride a horse. So. Aren't many sword wielders out here? So Galahad and his merry band of thugs went and stuff as they sounded. No, it turns out they were not.
Back to your hovel, coward!
Dodging the undead, as one does. Oh, the patch didn't mention it, but the cape's not clipping into the back of the horse as much, the cloak, rather. Still is clipping in a bit, but nowhere near as much as it was. Right, so they're all kind of terrible in this game. Obviously, bows aren't bad if you've got the strength and the dexterity for them. I do not. Keep that. Don't think I'll need that, but I'll keep one for now. you go. Logically, the armour is about the only piece worth having. Even the greaves aren't worth it for the stats. The horse appears to be having a little moment there. Ooh. Nice. So let's just check the armor situation. Yeah, we've got 3 of those. Don't think I need 3 of them. We need to keep all this weird, unique stuff either, but that's it's not even unique, but it is quite cool, so I'm keeping it for that reason. Right, some cool extra bits I can sell. Anybody to sell them to? It's dark and misty. Yeah, she's still there. I'm not surprised by that. Cool. So, duty's done, can now report to the captain. Indeed, I'll leave my slightly... I'm going to move my horse because... Still a little weird, but not as weird. Did a picked woman named Xion here or conquer a man from Delriata?
Picks in Dalray, here, yes. And they say I'm not drunk.
Well, that's a new thing I couldn't ask in the past. Okay then. There we go. Alright. See, I've got to wait for the sun to come up. Still weird soul power for sure. Can I level up? No. You have a chat with Artie though. What's Galahad like in your day? I think we've heard this already.
He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Kamelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
Chosen on that basis, I guess. Interesting. His death may not be quite the boon I was hoping it for.
If nothing happens soon, I'll start.
Instincts constantly to help myself to the materials around here, and it would accidentally aggro the whole fucking lot of them, which I don't really want. Fortunately, it seems to be resistant on letting me do that accidentally, so that's something. Ooh.
Oh, look who's here. Has the destiny of the South graced my humble abode?
Galahad is dead. Did my part. Tell me about Excalibur. What will happen now with the Horns of the South? What will happen now with the Horns of the
Glad you
South?
asked. By completing my request, you've shown that you care about the fate of our keepers. But I'm not naive enough to think everyone will suddenly get along with the Dalrita just because I say so. We need something stronger. And it just so happens that One Eye found undeniable proof of Camelot's corruption. Once the keepers see it, they'll change their minds.
What about Fergus?
That man's hard-headed. It's going to be tough to bring him round to our cause. If my proof doesn't convince him, well, Galahad's emblem still has to go back to Kamelot. We'll send it with fear gas. He'll either come back or end up where he always wanted to be. Proof that Kamelot is rotten to the core, and that allying with the tribes is the right choice. I didn't plan to tell you, but my one-eyed friend convinced me. Since you took down Galahad, you deserve to know. As a reward for your help, I'll share this secret with you.
Do I need to do something for you again?
If you don't want to, you're free to go. But I can tell you care about the fate of the South. And this is the greatest secret you could uncover.
I'm listening.
Here, take this seal. In the sunken village, you'll find the entrance to Sewell's crypt. Everyone knows the story of how the evil druids sealed and flooded the place. It's true. At least part of it. But the real story is why they sealed and flooded it. One Eye broke the old seals and replaced them with his own. If you want to see what Kamelot was so desperate to hide, you'll find your answers there. They thought drowning a village would keep it secret.
So he's suggesting that the village was drowned by the druids on Camelot's orders. That would change a few things, especially in that the druids ended up getting rounded up and burned in a giant wicker man en masse. What else do I need to know?
Behind the statue, you'll find where to use the seal. Once you do, you'll see that history is very different from what we've been telling ourselves. If that doesn't convince you that Camelot's foundations are more crap-coloured than tinged with ivory, then nothing will. I won't tell you anything more. I'd hate to spoil the surprise. I'll catch up with you later, and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Interesting to see what's going on. Yeah, looking at that concept art there, I feel like a city-based Arthurian game could be interesting. Moving through, and there's priests and all manner of stuff.
If nothing happens soon, I'll start it myself.
Well, that's where I need to be. I'm going to bounce over here. Probably. Not much else to do. Well, I was thinking I was going to do something while I was over here, but doesn't look like, so I might as well bounce over there anyway. Gonna bet, Cal? Quite want all of that. How many charges is that one? No, we're good. Is apparently a little bit resistant to fire. That's what it would seem. Yeah, we did check this place out originally, but couldn't get anywhere with it. Bunch of undead druids, I think. Possibly Sewell's bodyguards and knights from the look of it.
I know this place. I remember it, although my memory is still clouded.
What do you remember?
I was here with Merlin. We had a disagreement about something important. It was here that the idea of how to end the war with the Fore-Dwellers first took shape. But what happened next is still unclear. I don't remember. And
You
yet,
safe?
I know it had something to do with Seawall, a place of his eternal rest. But something is wrong. It doesn't feel like a tomb. Be cautious.
Be wary. Sense a disturbance in the force. Be wary. It's all dangerous down here. Falls through hole, breaks ankles. The fuck is going on down here? This shit is creepy as fuck. Daily Ledger Ancient Scroll. Thus spake Arthur, sealed this land I do give unto thee, to govern and protect, for thy courage and wisdom shall be the foundation of the south. Mighty fortress shall thou raise, and defend the south with all thy strength, and a stronghold shall be equal to the greatness in Kamelot. To guard the south of thy valiant breast, as thou hast guarded me, I now journey to the north, for those lands do call for my aid. Let my faithful Merlin aid thee with counsel in the darkest of hours. And Sewell did reply, This Merlin is thy right hand, my lord, and as his will I shall take as thine own. Okay. Weird sentence. Do not doubt my loyalty, O king, I shall do as thou hast asked. And Arthur did depart for the north, leaving his servant Merlin by Sewell's side, and the sorcerer, illegible. Then Merlin took a great cauldron black as night, and Sewell once more took the first step, as he did in days of yore when he first set foot on the shores of Avalon. And thus the will of destiny is fulfilled. This testament, signed copy. Sewell proved himself to be of the highest loyalty, and the horns of the south are equal to Kamelot. It is my will Excalibur be guarded by the keepers of the south after my death. Let my sword rest in the courtyard of the horns as testament to the eternal friendship between our houses. In times of distress my sword shall be drawn, but only by one who proves themselves worthy. I entrust the secret of how to prove one's worth to the captain, and urge all captains that come after to pass on this knowledge to their successors, until comes the day when the worthy one appears and the secret is revealed to them. So help me all, mother, and all the gods of the homelands. And what if the captain dies and is unable to pass on the secret then? What then?
You are not him. You are different.
That's creepy. Who are you?
I am Sewell Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before the traitor Arthur set foot on it.
Founder of the Horns of the South?
Yes, it is my legacy. The jewel of the South, the safe haven of honorable men.
An awesome hike. Good. Yeah, sounds like a good one, Steve. Nice to hear. What's changed?
I've been here for so long. It doesn't matter anymore.
Why did one I reseal your team?
Dalriata promised me revenge. They understand what happened here. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask.
What happened?
I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar land. Then came the war. I fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him. But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then could he achieve greatness. But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective. So we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality. They thought I had died, so they buried me.
Experiment was a success and they didn't notice. You counted Arthur to make sure you were dead and he left you. Experiment was a success and they didn't notice.
Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead.
But I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for the greater good. Their lives, our lives, meant nothing to him.
That was the betrayal. King didn't wait deemed necessary to win the war. How's this supposed to prove Kamelot's treachery?
Arthur doomed his people to eternal suffering. Their names forgotten. Their loyalty abused. He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of men. And this is the greatest possible betrayal.
How does I want to help you?
We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed. The Dalriata promised to burn down Kamelot. Avenge the memory of all my brothers. Kamelot was built on betrayal. People have the right to live in truth. When Kamelot falls, we will finally be free. Build a new world. Let the dead leave this one.
Interesting. Well, it seems like he definitely abused the goodwill of his followers. Interesting. Yeah, that sounds uncomfortable, Steve. Drowning is definitely a win.
And? What do you think?
Really seems Kamelot isn't what it claims to be, and it never was. No idea what this is supposed to prove. Yeah, both of those. Kamelot isn't what it claims to be. At least Arthur and Merlin weren't. The rest of them, well, who knows? They don't. If they don't know, this is a toughie. Are they building upon? Well, they are building upon these foundations. Other than that, the people in there were wronged, possibly elsewhere. It's difficult to say what the implications are. Yeah, Kamelot may be built on a bad seed, as it were, grown from a bad seed. But doesn't necessarily mean that the people who are there today know exactly what's going on. On the other hand, they've talked about Arthur being brought back over and over, so somebody must know what's going on. So, yeah, I'm thinking it isn't what it claims to be.
Oh, they're just fools. Somebody made a stupid mistake in the past. Somebody else decided to cover it up. Somebody came up with traditions and stories to mask what was done. And for hundreds of years, fools were eating it up because the lies were easier to believe. Really, there's no point in invoking tradition any longer, because it's worth shit. The only thing that matters is safety and loyalty towards the one who can provide it. And honestly, I don't believe the ones running this entire circus will protect anyone but themselves.
Why did you want me to see this?
Well, now we've found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck. And somehow, you unwittingly became the most important person in the region because your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds. You see, my boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't understand what I'm trying to do. The latter, like Feargas, are the traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well. If I come to them with this revelation, they think it were a conspiracy. But if somebody from the outside, somebody Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this.
Nice, Cal. I was deliberating on possibly playing Moria as well over the weekend. Didn't make the cut in the end. I didn't down other raids, but who knows? Another day, perhaps. Wasn't quite what I was vibing for. And looks like a conspiracy to me too. Kind of does, but that makes sense. I hope yeah, the United Horns of the South might be a way to go. They'll be stronger that way. We'll see what happens.
Ha! That's what I wanted to hear. I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas. Get him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me in the shrine. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let his pride take over.
I've gone the other way. I guess I'd have been fighting Captain Brendan, no? Yeah, I'm not surprised Arthur wants to talk after that. Two Merlins and one benevolent otherworldly, another megalomaniac. Yeah, there's a little bit of middle ground in there as well. Certainly more a version of him that's a bit of a somewhat agent of chaos, maybe not quite the right word. A bit of a trickster and almost fey being in of himself. Not so much a megalomaniac, but a bit weird. Interesting though. Still had a lot to say about you.
It was the most painful thing I heard. I didn't know. I had no idea this is what happened to him.
It's king of your job to know. You didn't know, you didn't want to know. Both of these. Yeah, it seems like his ambition got the better of him, or at least Sewell's claiming so. But Sewell's had a long time to get very fucking bitter, so as king, it was your job to know.
There were other things that required my attention.
Yeah,
We were losing
sure about that.
the war. I was needed everywhere. I should have paid more attention to what Merlin was doing.
It was about as far as I got last time, Cal.
Go.
Oh, he's trying to push it off on Merlin now. Of course he is. Well, they're suspicious of everybody right now. Still clipping through a fair bit. Maybe they didn't change much. It's just like physics adjustment for when you're galloping. Be interesting to see how this pans out. Discover something you need to know.
Really? And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me. But go ahead, surprise me.
Fool's Tomb has a hidden entrance. You can meet him there.
Have I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor? Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably.
It's true. Merlin experimented on Sewell and he never died.
This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change.
Sometime later.
I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged. I need some time to get used to it. Why did you show this to me? Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Sewell is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable. What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Kamelot? Everything we believed was a lie.
You believe what you did. What you believed and what you did with that belief are two different things. Put your faith in the future, not your past. Well, yeah, everything he's done so far, as far as I know, has been in favour of, maintaining the Horns of the South. Faith in the future, not the past, I think.
You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Kamelot was back then. What matters is what we are now. And we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain.
Great new myth? Well, new history anyway.
Any ideas?
Fortress stood up against Kamelot's corruption, got rid of Galahad. Once he found a way to forge peace with the tribes when nobody believed it was possible. He didn't let the past break you and decided to make your own future. Ooh. I'm going to go with the top one, because I am basically admitting I assassinated him at that point. Doesn't seem wise. Found a way to forge peace with the tribes? Possibly. Didn't let the past break you and make your own future. It's a little vague. But true. Forged peace with the tribes and nobody believed it was possible. Not sure it's going to end in peace anyway. Decisions. That one's a bit more tangible. I'm going to go with the vague one, actually, because I feel like it'll still be true no matter how the story plays out, kind of. Or has a better chance of being.
That sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity. And we'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out. All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him. He won. I'll support this case, if only for the safety and well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
Okay. I don't feel like I betrayed him. Telling him the truth is hardly a betrayal. It's not a complete view of the situation, I don't think, but bad news sucks, but still. Oh, hard to see where the Delreach is settled here. A shadow over the All-Mother's Temple keeping the Wyrdness at bay. Really weird running animation.
Ah, you're back. So, what news do you bring? Did you talk to Feargas?
So why was I deliberately moved forward and to the side, huh? Wonder what the reason for my being in this particular spot is. Fergus saw the team and he seems pretty shaken.
Good. Just as I expected. I do feel for the boy. He really loved Kamelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the Orns. Nicely done.
Yeah, but the why part, it's a very, very deliberate decision on the part of the developers there. Just be a little suspicious.
Now, I'll get one eye, and together we'll go to the Orns with the good news. Not everybody will be happy about it, but that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the south. After that,
surprisingly
whatever they
honourable.
choose to do is up to them.
Well then.
Brothers, today
Fate of the Horns achievement.
in the history of the Horn to the south. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty.
I don't know about the second part, or the first part, to be honest. Think about it.
Your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the Wyrdness. Kamelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All
Audio
they do
mix is
is
weird.
Take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark. Kamelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawall Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us. We were meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them. And all this time, do you know what they've done to the founder of the Horns of the South? For over 600 years, Seawall has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Kamelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawall's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honor an oath made to dishonorable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead.
Just don't mention my part in it.
Galahad's death is our chance to break free from Kamelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take.
Yeah, the echo's really weird on his voice.
How can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Kamelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologize, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led by One Eye.
I know, my brothers, I know. This must be a shock, especially since I didn't share my plans with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Orns of the South and the Dal Riada tribes,
In fact, there's not going to be happy.
of the South and our independence from Kamelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dal Riada fight in the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course, if anyone isn't in favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oaths. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duties and rest easy. The Horns of the South will endure, and soon we'll be stronger than ever before.
I won't be left alone. They'll have to find a way to make sure Kamelot doesn't come for them, because otherwise they fucking will. I don't think I've made the wrong choice per se, at least not yet. But if yeah, there's Excalibur. Honestly, doesn't look like a particularly good sword to me. Yeah, if they don't do something and prevent it from happening, then Kamelot will come back to seize its wayward territory. In which case, they might not be burnt at the stake, but they will almost certainly end up getting rung up. Yes, I had a feeling his quarters would be here. Nice fireplace, nowhere near enough heat going to be coming out of that to warm the place though. Full set of keeper armour in there. Not the most comfortable bedroom ever either. Mind you, the heat will rise up there so it'll be warmer, but then there'll be a chimney I suppose. So the smoke will end up there as well. With stone in there. I've done everything else for me. Your turn to do favours for me.
What do you need?
Want to become a keeper? No, not at this point. But I do want Excalibur.
Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking.
Meaning what exactly?
You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers.
What does this involve?
None of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake
That seems like a great idea.
I mean, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first you'll need to find a way to fix it, and since it's made of weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble.
If I wake up, what if it doesn't work? If all those recruits are worthy, why did none of them try wielding Excalibur? Because they weren't tested as being worthy. They were just selected by Galahad. He's just answered that, hasn't he?
Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe something entirely different will happen. It's your risk and your decision.
If it doesn't work,
then you'll have to find someone smarter than me, because I already told you everything I know.
And if I wake up?
I'm not going to lie. From what I've heard, many people never woke up. They fell into eternal slumber, so that's why we abandoned the tradition. And those who woke up were changed, and none of them ever wanted to say exactly what happened there.
Yeah, somehow I don't think we'll be getting a good night's sleep.
And may the southern wind be in your favour. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Doesn't seem like a very old captain to me. To be honest, it seems like a young one. Anyway. Doesn't value traditions? No, but he has just found out that the traditions that he perhaps once valued are based on a fairly horrific pack of lies. So his position is not terribly surprising. Tradition's a weird thing. Sometimes good, sometimes really not. Depends on the tradition, I suppose, doesn't it? Oh, why bother doing that? Time. All right for now. Aussie. What do you think about Brenna's deal with Dariata?
Fore-Dwellers back, and with the Dalrita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing, or the keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess.
A hell of a mess anyway. Well, that's slightly less if he knows what he's doing, it's true. It's an ancient gong in sunken village. Can you fix it?
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is? Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Need to repair it to become a keeper.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe. Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
So, what do I need? I've got plenty of ethereal cobweb. I actually need the broken gong itself. Okay, do that. I suppose I can level up here, can I? Yeah, wonderful. Let's see. Seems like a good point to start thinking about whether or not I want anything else after this. I don't know if I do, but... Mana regen... Max that out. See where we go from there. Yeah, definitely the easiest build so far, I think, playing as a mage. However, I don't know if it's the most fun. There's some interesting options for other builds, but yeah. I do feel like it's lowered the difficulty rather playing as a mage. I don't know where this gong's supposed to be, other than down here in the village. Of course it's out on the island. Goody, goody, goodies. Just about to gob on me, and then he got zapped. Evening, how are we doing? Get there, Mr. Cohen. Enjoying this so far. The feeling I'm about to get screwed. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I think I missed the stairway, haven't I? Yeah, it's here. Yep, I've seen some better days. Somehow I feel like I'm going to ring the gong, step through here, and it will be some kind of weird-based alternate dimension type thing going on. Isn't too bad. Cape seems to go weirdly wooden right now. Little bit of indie jank going on. Oh well. To be expected. Surprised Killian there is hanging around.
Please, state your business.
Bounty for
You're my
bandits.
favorite
What do you think about this deal with the
killer.
Dorata?
Still read a dog's back here? Oh, I'm not sticking around to see how that ends. Let someone else get their throat slit. Go, the hunter waits.
Yep, rather thought as much. Gotta be honest, if they want to buy themselves some time, it'd probably be in their interest to make sure he doesn't make it back to Kamelot. Otherwise, the worst possible version of events will likely bring the Camelosians running this way.
Well,
It'll come from him.
Happens today.
Got what you need to fix the gong?
How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment. Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
I always do. Is there anything else I should
I have
know?
nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
Suddenly, Caradoc's position seems a little bit more reasonable than it did before. Although I don't know if he knew about Cyril. Possible. Yep, looks still stiff as a board. Bit too much starch on that one. Aussie swimming! Well, sort of. No, apparently the horse can't quite handle that. But... here we go. Eternal Sea. Doesn't sound ominous at all. Oh dear. I got swallowed by a sea monster. Well, somebody did mention a sea monster. And I'm inside what would appear to be some kind of weird dimension, as I thought. Nearly went very poorly. Okay, well, I'm flying up into the sky now.
Dares disturb my peace.
Who are you?
Made an oath never to summon me again.
I did no such thing, actually. You be my lord, I want to be deemed worthy to touch the Excalibur. Other than, I don't even know who this is.
Excalibur. Wait.
It's like Arthur. Almost.
Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
Do I know you?
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me.
So Arthur did something then.
You are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
The Lord of the Seas granted me a blessing which allowed me to take the soul fragment from Excalibur. Okay. Very interesting indeed. One does have to wonder whether or not the Horns of the South remain protected. If, I mean, Galahad tried to say that the lighthouse did the same job as the men here, which would protect the Horns of the South. But we also know that, we've also heard rather, that Excalibur is what's doing the job. So, I guess we're going to find out which it is soon enough. To change my batteries, apparently. Moment. Slide down. It's the wrong way around. Yep. Interestingly, you can't put the battery in the wrong way in that thing. There doesn't seem to be any reason for that, but I assume there is. Whoops. You and the Lord of the Sea seem close.
It seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something.
That would seem. And so... seems to be draining my health. Not quite all of it. And here we are. First piece of King's Souls tied to Excalibur. Lord of the Seas granted me a blessing to allow me to take it. Okay. Maybe we're not taking, or maybe what we're doing won't affect Excalibur. So we're taking the King's Soul from it, not the sword itself, I guess. So it looks like Excalibur, if not the original, at least a model thereof stuck into the effigy of Arthur there. I'm assuming his true remains are inside there, and that's what we're looking at down there. Photo up, indeed. Gotta do it. I'll get my thumbnail somehow, haven't I?
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command.
Swords and stone.
I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Three. Four. So 4 pieces plus the piece that's floating around on me. So 5 pieces of soul. Well, that looks interesting.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Fore-Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time. And resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
It seems that Merlin may be the worst part of this, but Arthur's not completely guilt-free, but it seems like he's been led down a dark road by Merlin out of a desperation to win a home for his people, whom he led to this land to escape death by plague, only to find death by war waiting for them. Yeah, looks like Arthur's not quite the strong king, at least not when it comes to Merlin, that he would like to be. Although he's trying, but seems like he's been twisted every which way by Merlin. You gathered a new fragment of Arthur's soul, unlocking its hidden potential. Open the menu to explore King's Soul skill tree, or visit a bonfire to develop new ability. King's Soul. So I've got Excalibur. I've got the King's Soul, slows down time, and Excalibur killing enemies restores a portion of it. Collect all incoming projectiles. Fully charged. Automatically use it when you would receive lethal damage. Appealing. But I don't tend to have that. Well, actually does happen, but not often. Dealing damage has a small chance to create a weird essence which can be collected to regenerate a portion of the king's soul. I think I'll go for that one. I have to do that at a bonfire, okay. Blame Merlin for everything. Yeah, Merlin does seem to be, so far, holding the majority of the guilt. He looks to be manipulating the crap out of Arthur, anyway.
I remember.
He knew all about it. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I didn't know all about it. He knew something about it.
Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then. And you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war. And wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end,
to stop the
ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible.
Definitely two sides to every coin.
Gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor.
You think experimenting on your members is justified?
Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled.
What means it Merlin didn't succeed?
Meant the survival of
he had no way of thinking he would.
There was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something.
You agreed to lie to your people about your role in all this.
I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that.
I do kind of see where he's coming from a certain point of view. So what did he come up with to win the war?
I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going.
Oh dear.
He did. He started experimenting on the Fore-Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Fore-Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the Wyrdness. And in the end, he did.
Ah, interesting. There's a question there of what the Fore-Dwellers' motivation. I don't think necessarily his justification really has a great deal of weight to it on what was done to the Fore-Dwellers either. But, you know, he's got to do what he's got to do. Like, loses the war and they get tossed into the ocean and they are the victims of a genocide, essentially. I don't know why the Fore-Dwellers attacked them in the first place. Other than the fact that they showed up. But yeah, I suspect what was done in the name of their survival is way over the line. Although, what decisions would you make when you're faced with being the victim of genocide and the end of your people? And you're the one in charge. I kind of do understand where he's coming from. I'm not sure he made the right decision or anything, but more information is required, but I do see where he's coming from, to a degree. So today that Neil Armstrong was pondering what to say when he stepped out on the moon. Michael Collins suggested he should just scream and cut the mic for a few seconds. Yeah. Would be a hilarious, but not really the way you want to go down in history, really, I don't think. So what did Merlin do to conquer the Wyrdness then?
He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours.
Except that it didn't last.
Stopped, the banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe.
Does victory erase the price you paid?
That's the question, isn't it?
Probably not, no.
I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for.
He was ready to
I
die.
thought he did. I believed him.
He paid a worse one.
I told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this.
Seems Merlin was lying to him about what was going on, as well as
But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
Yeah. Merlin's definitely manipulating Arthur, somewhat at Arthur's request in some ways, but what's Merlin's end game? That's the other question. Lots of interesting questions hanging in the air there.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't.
Paradox.
Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time?
Merlin and Arthur talking about ancient experiments, something in the Wyrdness. Yeah. Merlin and Arthur talking about ancient experiments.
Merlin. Merlin and his obsession with the Wyrdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure your perspective on it is entirely accurate either. Everybody has their point of view and none of them seem quite on the nose. Although, I kind of understand where Arthur's coming from. What he did to Sewell, I mean, even if Sewell volunteered to sacrifice his life, somewhat cool that he accepted, but at least he volunteered. But he did not volunteer for 600 years as a living imprisoned corpse. So, yeah. And of course, this is just the beginning. Something similar to that happened to everybody else in that room, and probably others as well. And we don't know what else was going on beyond that. Grim. You know more than you let it on. Care to make some sense?
I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea. Immortality. Me and Sewell, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster.
Did they though? Why didn't you fight back? Did Arthur know what was happening? You didn't end like Sewell. Did Arthur know what was happening?
Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation
desperate to survive.
Leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar. Even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it.
Entirely without a point. You didn't fight back because...
Fight back? Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board.
What's he doing right now?
You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done.
Didn't end up like Sewell.
Sewell was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think?
What do you mean clean up their mess?
The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do.
Spoke with Arthur. He said he had to, or humanity would have been lost.
Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him.
I don't know that it's convenient, really.
But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name.
Points of view. All points of view.
Who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive?
Everybody has as much right to survive as everybody else. At least starts off with that position. There's an argument that what Arthur did kind of undermines any right to survive, I suppose. Well, what Merlin did at Arthur's behest and what Arthur permitted. But, yeah. Then again, why did the Fore-Dwellers attack the humans who arrived on their shores? Was that necessary, or did they just do so because they didn't want to share their land? No, actually, no, I don't. I was going to say I could understand that. I don't. It's just, yeah. That would just not be on. So, the Fore-Dwellers' position doesn't seem a lot more, well, not that we know much about it yet, but the starting point doesn't look any better from their perspective either. So what do you want, Kamelot?
You've seen what they did. What he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins.
No,
Find
I didn't
the
think
pieces
so.
of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this. Once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return.
Well, true, we don't know what his final state ended up being yet.
Whether to stand with you, or step over you. The choice is yours.
600 years have not stopped him yet.
Happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you.
I'm going to fix this. I need to know where to start. If you think I'll let you decide Arthur's fate, you're wrong. Yes, I'm sure as hell not about to hand off that kind of decision to anybody else. Established we don't trust other people to make decisions. That's not the done thing. But I will need to know where to start. Then again, I don't need to tell him that. It won't help anyway. I will make the right decision, and he will try and either agree with it or not, depending on what decision it is. And I will do whatever I have to do. So that's just is what it is. So where do I need to go?
Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Connacht. The menhir there is failing. The Wyrdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest. A voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
Nothing is ever simple or easy. We shall see. No, it was a bad decision. Didn't realise how far down it was. Considering I only got a slightly twisted ankle off that. Well, yeah, a fully broken leg would make more sense, but still. Interesting indeed.
Just keep your head down. You startled me.
Head to Connacht and find the shield of Palamedes. Well, as you can see, I am not dead. Okay. Chuck that wood away. And next time we will head to Connacht. That's what I wanted. I suspect, however, just looking at the map, there's a couple of ways to Connacht. There's a big gate up there, but there's also the question of what's at the end of the road here. So I kind of want to go and investigate that. Got not much time, but let's have a look. Big old castle gate there. Looks somewhat sealed and closed, actually, from here. Maybe not. Agravain of the Hard Hand, a stalwart knight always at the forefront of battle, known for his iron will and unbreakable resolve. His legacy as a defender of the realm is eternal. And the North Gate, which also leads to Kamelot. I thought it might. Well, I've been suggested to take that gate. I don't know. I feel like this one makes more sense. Time for one last picture, I think. How are we doing, guy? Yeah, definitely a little on the late side tonight. Where are you? There you are. Well, for one evening, I think it's about on that time. Whew. Seeing as we have reached the end of the Horns of the South now, bar a few bits and pieces that I do need to tackle. I've got going on there. Stuff to deal with in a minute. Yeah, that's interesting. Got some interesting revelations there. The story is certainly getting very interesting. The plot is thickening and so on and so forth. I'll try and move that somewhere that's not right in my grill, but it's still workable. Yeah. I feel like thus far, everybody has a perspective. All of them have a point to a degree. But I don't think any of them are exactly seen clearly either. I'm sure there are. Kind of getting that tone from it as well. Mind you, that tone's been there since we first woke up in the cell, really, hasn't it? We'll see. Thus far, I do kind of empathise somewhat with the plight of a leader who wants to help his people, save his people, led them to what should have been a new home, and then found themselves faced with genocide, and the fact he then turned to desperate measures. He tried to put an end to the worst of Merlin's experiments, and it seems he failed, but maybe it was too little too late. Either way, it's weird. The picture is still somewhat unclear. We'll see how it goes. Nice, Grey. Yeah, like Kamelot's basically saying they went off the deep end and not only did horrific things, the result of those horrific things made the world a worse place for it, and maybe they went so far they didn't deserve, and Avalon Kamelot should have fallen. which is possible, and he may have some kind of basis for his position then, least of all because he was one of the, we have found out, or so he claims, one of the experimental victims. And yeah, I guess we'll find out where this goes. Captain has the best quest to clear the bandits. I think I've got most of those, but I'll have a look. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll go back and chat to him, see what's what. Might do that tomorrow. There's some other bits and pieces I need to do as well. So, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too terribly worried about 100%ing it. We'll see how that goes. But I do need to run around. I kind of think I need to find at least one of the keeper's bodies that's out there somewhere, and maybe some other bits to just kind of get them out by journal. Excuse me. It's not quite as bad as it gets on Skyrim, you know, with the state your journal gets to in that game, which is just a fucking mess. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, this story is developing into an interesting scenario. Yeah, anyway, enjoying it so far. I am a little on the fence about whether or not I've chosen the right build here, in the sense that it's a bit too simple, and yeah, I feel like it's maybe a little bit too simple, maybe a little bit too what's the word? A little bit too yeah, just overpowered, really. So we'll see. Maybe I'll push on, and maybe when I step into Kurenak, things will change, because I'm sure that zone will be more dangerous, and my spells won't be quite as overpowered as they were when I get there. But again, we'll continue to build in power over time. I'll have to look at what the level cap is on this, actually. There is one. On level cap. No level cap. Allegedly. Somebody finished the game at level 63, they claim. Basically, there isn't one. Look at that, yeah. That's cool. So I'll just keep on going, keep getting more and more powerful. Mixed blessing favour the was one. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I probably have just out-leveled the zone. Still. Interesting that didn't seem to happen so much with my other characters. Or my other character, rather. Because I got not quite this far. There's a few quests I didn't do, but definitely not, like, double the level. I don't know why I'm sort of double the level on this character. Weird. Up my armor and weapons. Well, I don't use weapons. That's a non-issue. Just the spells, which I've got the most powerful ones in the area already. As for armor, I've got the most powerful robes and stuff for a spellcaster already as well. I'd get things to the best level I could before moving on. I'd have to see how it goes. But yeah, I think there's a lot more to find here. We'll see what happens when I get to Kurenak and what we find out there. Hopefully something that looks cooler than the robes I've currently got, because ouch, those are not good looking. Anyway, should be fine. Yeah, we'll dive back in tomorrow and tie up a few loose threads and stuff probably, and yeah, push on to Kurenak. See how it goes. Should be good. Anyway, for one evening, I think it's about chill time. Thank you all for hanging out. Hope you've had fun. Hope you've enjoyed. Yeah, I'm enjoying this game. It's cool. Aside from some slides, on the fenceness about my build, I am definitely enjoying it. I could respec, but then I'd lose the benefits of my passive skills, which would be more difficult to level up at this point. I don't know. What can you do? Yeah, the respec. It's the passive skills that make the respec somewhat worthless. The later you go, the more you lose by respecing. So it's fine for like the early stages, first couple of quests and stuff, if you decide you don't like it. But, yeah. If I was going to respec, I'd probably go for an archer. I did quite enjoy playing as a two-handed sword wielder. Shields I wasn't getting on with. I've tried those a bit. So sword and board I don't think I'd go with in this game. Two-handed sword wielder worked cool. Quite well. It's quite cool. Wouldn't want to go with a heavy weapon because they're just too slow. But yeah, I think a bow would be fun actually in this game. It's hasn't got it's got a more interesting kind of slightly technical vibe to it than say Skyrim has. So that would have been fun. I don't know. We'll see how we get on anyway for a bit. But I mean, I suppose I could have a look at stuff and switch it and then you know, grind for a while if I wanted to switch to an archer. I'd end up with a few more levels and just chasing the passives. There's possibly something I could do. Might have a look. Anyway, definitely not going to deal with that right now. So, thank you for hanging out. Hope you've had fun. As I say, you know where the buttons are if you haven't already. Like, subs, social media links in the description, channel memberships down below, notification bell with all its reliability and such. Yeah, we'll dive into this tomorrow. Should be good. If you haven't seen it already, pinned in chat is the build that went up today. I did one on the PTS and I'm quite chuffed with it. So yeah, have a gander at that if you haven't already. It's a good way to round out the evening. Quite happy with that build. Anyway, for now, yeah, Tainted Grail tomorrow, Fallout on Wednesday probably, and the Altars Thursday, Friday as per. Should be good. So, for now, have yourselves a good rest of the evening. Have a good day tomorrow. Look after yourselves, stay safe. I'll see you around about 8 o'clock for some more. Should be good. Night, folks. See ya.